mention something before we go any further. Every time we do, and I've noticed this over the years, every time we do a bit or a sketch, we put actors in the audience, and they're in costume, we load them in. Just before we come back from commercial, the people in the audience sitting right around them start straightening out their hair. I look and I see like 7 people going, oh. Oh. Nice job. You all look good. All right. My next guest has appeared in the films A Cinderella Story and Freaky Friday. Now you can see him in the WB series One Tree Hill. Please welcome Chad Michael Murray. All right, now, first things first. I have to come clean on something. I was at a wedding, a family wedding. This is 2.5 weekends ago. I was in Rhode Island, and I'm sitting at this table, and I find out that my cousins are going to be at the table, and they're like 15, 14 years old, and I'm thinking to myself, as I walk over there with my plate of food, this is going to be a big treat for them to sit down with Conan O'Brien. I sit down.
Big treat for you?
Yeah, and all they want to... All right, clearly God knew I was lying. Yep. Make the show work at some point, Jeff. All right, well, anyway, and so I sit down, and all my cousin wants to hear about, she's like, do you know Chad Michael Murray? And I'm like, well, I know of him, but I've never had him on the show. We've had Tom Hanks. Chad Michael Murray! Well, we've had Brad. Chad Michael Murray! Or what about Chad Michael Murray? And so I thought, I gotta get this Chad Michael Murray on the show or I'm dirt. So thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Nice to have you on the program, clearly.
My pleasure.
First of all, I love the name, Chad Michael Murray. It's a very cool name.
Wow. Well, dude, thank my mom and pops and the guy who already had my name at SAG.
Oh, really? Someone else?
I had to go with the 3 names.
Another actor already had it. Well, the thing is, I always loved a name like that. I think if your parents give you a name like that, you're going to become a cool, good-looking guy just because the name is Chad Michael Murray. You know, I'm Conan O'Brien, so there was no way there's going to be like, who's that? It's Conan O'Brien. It wasn't going to happen.
It's the Irish thing. I'm Irish.
Yeah, I know. But I just like the rhythm of it. Chad Michael Murray is very cool. And things are going well on One Tree Hill?
Things are going excellent, man. We're on season 2 right now.
Right.
Shaved the head.
Right.
Nice and clean. A lot less time.
The ladies like that. They like the shaved head. What about the big Bob's Big Boy Pompadour? Yeah. They say that now, but no. They like the
You should try it.
Do you think I should try that? I bet if I tried that, I'd show up in Tiger Beat, finally.
Dude, he's there. I put him in Tiger Beat.
Yeah. Now, on One Tree Hill, I understand that you got into some trouble with the producers. What happened?
Well, I seem to pull a prank here or there. I mean, come on, how am I going to get through life without having a little bit of fun? I love my crew. We mess around, and so some guy put me up to writing a little something on the fridge.
Writing it how?
Well, we had this scene where it starts on the fridge. Now, I didn't know this. It was rehearsal. I didn't think it'd make the final cut.
Right.
But it starts out in the fridge, and there's these little, magnets, alphabetized magnets. And so I put CMM does it doggy style.
Right.
And it made the final cut. But the worst part was, it's the day before the show airs, and I saw it on the dailies, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Right.
I'm not telling anybody.
Right. And you figured maybe it'll just go by and no one will notice it.
No one will notice except for, the 4.5 million fans that watch it. And they'll go, hey, look at it. What do you know? I didn't know that. And
what's worse is the whole scene was starting on a tight shot on the refrigerator.
It was right on the tight shot of the fridge.
Did you look at the script? The script was called The Refrigerator Episode.
Needless to say, they weren't very happy about it when our producer walks in and goes, what the hell's that?
Right.
And they're like, what? That right there! And so they had to try to edit around it, but needless to say, like 6 people almost lost their jobs. So I retired. I retired that day.
Now, why can't they do the thing that they do in rap videos where they blur it out? Why can't they do that? And just people would think there's some cool rap slogan that you guys had to...
Because we don't have that bling, the money, we don't have the cash bling.
Well, you got to come to me. I got the... forget it. All right, now I want to talk to you about something, because, a lot of people think, that I'm not up on what's happening, but you caused a huge controversy, which is at the Freaky Friday movie that you're in, premiere, and you were in this movie with Lindsay Lohan. At the time, Lindsay Lohan having a feud with Hilary Duff, you bring Hilary Duff as your date to the premiere. Pandemonium breaks out. It was like a riot at the Tokyo Stock Exchange. Things went crazy.
I'm not up to date.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
You knew? Didn't you know?
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
58 years old, and I knew that you can't bring Hilary Duff to a Lindsay Lohan premiere. You can't do it, ladies. You can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I have no excuse, man.
So you did it, and what happened? I mean, first of all, a lot of guys would probably dream about being between a cat fight with those two guys. You know, were people throwing, were they throwing things at each other? Was there anger?
We had to get comfortable for a kissing scene. So I took her out.
Who's we?
Hillary and I. We were doing Cinderella Story.
Right.
And Freaky Friday was premiering. So I had to get comfortable, and, we didn't know anything about each other. We just started. And so I took her to the premiere, we're hanging out, having friends, doing the thing, and...
Right.
Next thing you know, I found out that they're, terrible enemies, and I get a lot of angry handshakes and smiles my way. And
what's an angry handshake? I'm curious. Is that when you... Got it.
But they squeeze.
They squeeze really hard. I've tried to do that to people, but I'm so weak that no one knows I'm doing it. I'm like, yeah, nice to meet you, too. And the little girl's like, yeah, nice to meet you,
Those 14-year-olds, they got a grit,
yeah,
man.
They do.
I know.
Now, let's talk about your humble beginnings, because we all had to start somewhere. You used to work at Donut World. Is that right?
Dude, I was a janitor at Donut World.
A janitor at Donut World.
You don't get any lower than that. Wow.
I'm sure you do. I don't want to put down the good people at Donut World.
Donut World's closed.
Right.
I mean, with the
it's gone?
Yeah.
Oh, that place was a dump.
Okay, I couldn't get a date in high school.
Right.
So I did everything I could.
You really couldn't get a date in high school? You're not one of those good-looking actresses like, I couldn't get a date in high school. Liar. I have evidence to prove I couldn't get a date in high school.
I was the Payless Shoes poster boy, and I went to one of the rich schools.
Right.
Where everyone wore Abercrombie and Fitch and
Right.
had like barbed wire tattoos.
Right.
That wasn't me. So, I moved on and said, hey, dude, there's hot girls working at Donut World. I applied. They gave me the janitor job.
So, and you got fired, right?
Yeah, I broke the fryer. I was bored.
How do you break a fryer?
I was in preparation, I guess, for One Tree Hill, maybe. I don't know. It was 10 years ago, but still.
Right.
And I was shooting Skittles in the deep fryer.
You were deep frying Skittles, the candy that with the chewy center.
In Buffalo, you'll eat anything deep fried if they don't tie it down, man. Paper bags, everything. It's good stuff. And shooting Skittles in the deep fryer, and sure enough, all of a sudden, and I get in the next morning, and they got a deep fryer coming out, it's like in a casket coming out, and a new one coming in.
Right.
And some guy takes me aside, and he goes, Chad, we're going to have to lay you off.
Wow.
And I don't know if it was because they knew I broke the deep fryer or because I cost them too much money to pay me my $4.15 an hour.
Right. But they went under soon after that. I bet you that's one of those stories that sounds like at the very end, after you've been fired and the donut shop has been taken down, someone walks away and just picks up one of the deep-fried Skittles and eats it and goes like, that's delicious! And then it's the most successful treat ever.
It's huge. That sour Skittles, what's next?
Yeah, deep-fried Skittles. Everyone loves them. Don't miss them. You wanted to mention, a few things. First, One Tree Hill airs Tuesday nights at 9 on the WB. And a charity you wanted to mention was, correct me, is this Hunter's Hope Foundation?
Yeah.
Good.
We're having a big charity flag football game October 23rd in Wilmington, North Carolina. We're raising money for the Pop Warner kids, which is like NFL youth, and Hunter's Hope, which is kids with Krabbe's disease. I'm from Buffalo. That's Jim Kelly's son. He started the foundation. So it's kind of important to me. So on the WB.com, they have more info going up today. Anyone who wants to attend, come on. We got a bunch of friends coming out, some other celebrities. It'll be a good time.
Very cool. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Chad Michael Murray, everybody, take a break and come back. Good Charlotte's here. Stick around.